Millions of people say the name Jesus every single day. But here's something most people don't realize. Not everyone means the same person. Two of the world's largest religions speak about him. Both honor him. Both describe miracles. Both speak of his birth from Mary. Both even speak of his return. And yet, when you look closer, the picture begins to shift. What if the same name carries two very different stories? Tonight, we're not here to argue. We're here to understand. Let's carefully walk through 7 key differences between how the Bible and the Quran describe Jesus, respectfully, thoughtfully, and clearly. First, the birth. In the Bible, the story of Jesus doesn't begin in Bethlehem. It begins centuries earlier. Ancient prophets spoke of a coming child, a promised figure, a sign. Isaiah speaks of a virgin who would conceive. Micah names Bethlehem as the place of birth. For Christians, this creates a long prophetic thread, a story building toward one arrival. When the moment comes, the angel Gabriel appears to Mary. She is told she will bear a son who will be called the Son of the Most High. In Christian belief, this moment carries enormous meaning. It is not simply the birth of a prophet. It is understood as God entering human history. Now, in Islam, the birth is also miraculous. Mary, honored deeply in Islam, receives a message from an angel. She is told she will bear a pure son. But the interpretation is different. In Islam, Jesus, known as Isa, is called the Messiah. However, Messiah here means chosen or anointed, not divine. The Quran describes Mary giving birth alone beneath a palm tree. In pain, she is comforted by divine reassurance. There is no manger scene, no shepherds, no public celebration. Instead, the moment is quiet, personal, intimate. And something unique happens. The infant speaks, defending his mother and declaring himself a servant of God. Both traditions affirm a miraculous birth, but the meaning attached to that birth differs deeply. Second, identity. In Christianity, Jesus is central, not just a messenger, but the Word made flesh. He forgives sins, he receives worship, he speaks of unity with the Father. For Christians, he is understood as divine. In Islam, the picture shifts. Jesus is one of the greatest prophets, born miraculously, sinless, empowered, but not God, not the Son of God, not part of a Trinity. In Islamic theology, associating partners with God is considered a serious theological error. So Jesus is honored, but clearly human. Same name, different identity. Third, miracles. Both scriptures describe extraordinary acts, healing the blind, cleansing disease, raising the dead. In the Bible, these miracles are often presented as flowing from his own authority. In the Quran, miracles are also present, sometimes even additional ones, but consistently described as happening by God's permission. The difference is subtle but important. In Christianity, miracles support divine identity. In Islam, miracles confirm prophetic mission. Fourth, the crucifixion. Here, the divergence becomes profound. In Christian belief, the crucifixion is central. It is understood as a redemptive act, a sacrifice for humanity's sins. The cross is not viewed as defeat, but as purpose fulfilled. In Islamic belief, however, Jesus was not crucified. The Quran states that it appeared so to people, but he was not killed. Instead, God raised him up. Islamic interpretations vary on the details, but the core belief remains. Jesus did not die on the cross. Because Islam does not teach original sin in the same way Christianity does, there is no theological need for a sacrificial death. This leads directly to the fifth difference, the resurrection. For Christians, resurrection is the foundation of hope. Jesus rises on the third day. He appears to followers. He conquers death. Without resurrection, Christian theology collapses. In Islam, because there was no crucifixion, there is no resurrection event in the same sense. Instead, Jesus is believed to have been raised to heaven alive. Sixth, the second coming. Here, interestingly, both faiths agree on something striking. Jesus will return. But again, purpose differs. In Christianity, he returns in glory as judge and king. In Islamic tradition, he returns as a prophet who restores justice, defeats falsehood, and reaffirms submission to God. The role overlaps in appearance, but not in theological meaning. Finally, the Holy Spirit, or the promised helper. In the Gospel of John, Jesus speaks of a comforter who will come after him. Christians understand this as the Holy Spirit, God's presence dwelling with believers. Some Muslim scholars interpret these passages differently. They connect them to a future prophet, identifying that prophecy with Muhammad. This remains one of the most debated interpretive differences between the traditions. So what does all this mean? It means a single name carries two theological frameworks, two sacred texts, two histories, two interpretations. Yet both traditions speak with reverence. Both call him the Messiah. Both affirm miracles. Both await his return. The differences are significant, but so is the shared respect. Understanding these distinctions doesn't require hostility. It requires curiosity. And perhaps the deeper question isn't which description is correct. Perhaps the deeper question is this: how can two global faiths look at the same historical figure and see such different meanings? That question alone invites reflection, and reflection is where understanding begins. If this comparison helped you see the topic more clearly, continue exploring, not to argue, but to learn. Because sometimes clarity begins where assumptions end.